Hello and welcome to the CraftyLittleRat podcast special edition. This is being recorded on my handheld camera, unlike my normal episodes, which I record on my laptop. So just basically because I wanted to move a bit more and show you some of my Christmas decorations, because I love Christmas and Christmas decorations. We're not following a proper podcast format at all. Today I will show you a little bit of what I've been working on, just because I have it here. But it'll be very, very quick. I finished both of my knotty gloves. That's the wrong side of that one. There we go. There is a left and a right, which is always helpful. It's got a cable pattern just on there. This was the glove I did second, you can tell, because the fingers are slightly shorter than the first, because I got a bit bored of knitting fingers, but they fit though, so that's fine. I've done a little bit of work, only a tiny bit, and it's still a bit sort of bunched up on the needles of my TGV, high-speed knitting. I'm going to do a couple of rows today and then weigh the ball of yarn, because I think I'm possibly about halfway through. It's in hand spun, this one. The yarn for the gloves, you see my slippers? They're little mice. The yarn for the knotty gloves was Magic de Grade by Lang. Really nice. Single is a sock yarn. It's got nylon in it, but I'm not sure whether I would want it for socks. It's a bit hard to see possibly, but they're quite fuzzy already and they haven't even really been worn yet. Have got another ball in a rainbow colourway, so I think I'm going to use that for a hat. The only other thing I've been working on this week, as soon as I finished the gloves, I cast on for these. They are the Whiz Bang socks by Mrs. Shu on Ravelry, and she has a podcast. I can't remember what it's called, but I do watch it. It is on my subscription list. It's a slip stitch sock pattern, and I did a 2x2 rib at the top for 20 rows rather than the 1x1 twisted that it calls for in the pattern. It is a different heel. It's quite hard to show you on the blocker, really, I suppose. These have not been blocked. I just popped it on the blocker to show you. I think it's called a Bootylicious heel, I want to say. But yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. I'm not sure whether it will replace my normal heel. I'm going to have to see how they sort of fit. The toes as well, the toes don't look great on here, and that's because, you can see, it's a bit of an extra there. The toes are actually left foot, right foot specific, which works great when you've got it on a shaped foot, but doesn't look brilliant on a blocker. So I finished the first one of these, and I've cast on for the second one. Here they are. They're in my orange gecko bag, and I only cast it on this morning, so I've just done the toe, which is a very short toe as well. I'm not entirely sure how well that's going to work for my feet, but never mind. And I've just started the slip stitch patterning. So that's knitting-y bits. There's no stash acquisitions, no spinning, nothing like that. I just wanted to show you guys some of my Christmas decorations. So we've got our tree, and you'll have to excuse any changes in direction or any sort of mess that you find around the place. So right at the bottom, for the very first time this year, I have got my Christmas tree skirt on that we finished. And this is a fake tree, so there shouldn't be any needles, but for some reason there's lots of needles. It's maybe getting a bit old. So I'm really happy with the way this came out and the way that it looks around the tree. The only problem is, because our tree is not the biggest, move the bauble out of the way, because the tree isn't the biggest, it goes right up to the base, so you don't see all of it, which is a little bit disappointing, but never mind. You know, the bit that you do see, the bit that you do look at is great. I don't have a lot of handmade ornaments on my tree, I've got to admit. We've got some really sort of quite nice special ones. We've got the little mice, which are quite cute, and the owl, because I love owls. My sister made us some ornaments one year when she was really into cross stitch, so that's the one that she made Reese, I think, yes, to Reese with a bauble. And there's one for me further up. Got some lovely ornaments from our friends in Canada. So this is a beaver playing hockey, which is you know, Canadian. We have got the beaver with the flag, with the Canadian flag, also very Canadian. And we have this one, which is a Tim Hortons, with a snowman coming out of the Tim Hortons. Just get that to focus. Probably won't focus. Camera's not on its way out. It's all right, but I am upgrading. Canadian moose, and a little mouse in a little scarf. We've got a couple of them around the place. This year's new ornament is this one. This is the little mouse with a little wand. That's the word. Little wand in its hand. The one I showed you guys last week with my little knitting in it is up on the tree. I suppose that is a handmade ornament. And then again, another one. That's one my sister gave me for me a couple of years ago. Yeah, so that's sort of it, really, for those bits. Moving over, this is my very messy TV console. The letters we've had for quite a while. Noel. And then this tree we've had a few years as well. Did used to have white lights on it, but last year they broke, so I spent all year looking for something to replace it and wasn't particularly happy with what I found. The other day I thought, oh well, why not? So I just clipped off the lights from the inside, and I replaced them with a string of LED lights, just LED battery powered ones. Oops. Dropping all of my letters. It's now all. Reese ends up normally dropping the L, so it really is Noel. And I make that cheesy joke about 4 or 5 times a year. So yeah, we've got it's a little ornament my brother and sister-in-law got me with this dog. He's normally on there. That's the one my friend Jamie got me from Disney. I don't know why it's not on the tree. This is one my gran got me the other year. It's a miniature fireplace, and I don't quite know why she bought me it, but it's one of those sort of those gag gifts, you know, that you get people. But hey ho. Christmas teddy bear. Christina and Corey looking disgusted at my tree. And then we've got a cute little robin, or a little bird, and then a little hedgehog. The owls live there constantly. They live up a bit more actually normally. And then the second one of the little dog with a thing in his mouth. So that's sort of it really. We've got sort of a dangly thing leading into the second half of the living room. And that down there is where Reese sits, but he's not in the shot before he complains at me. We've got the little heart with the berries on it, that comes out. And the mirror has some tinsel on it, because Reese loves tinsel. So the second sort of half of my living room, I've got a really big living room actually. I haven't got a hallway, but I have got a huge living room. This is an advent calendar that my mum made me last year. The idea is when you're a bit more organised, in each of the pockets you put one of these little charms, and you put a little sweetie. But we, because we're grown-ups, we've not organised ourselves enough to buy sweets for it this year, so we keep them in that little bag and just hang them up as and when we remember. And then this is where Isla lives. This is Isla's advent calendar for the year, but she hasn't had all of them because, well, I don't know. I mean, okay, the 10th is the next day she has to open. But can you see how big they are? They're sort of, I can't get them out without 2 hands. But they're sort of giant chocolate sweets for a tiny hamster. Last year, we were able to divide them between her and the rats, and that was fine. But, yeah, this is Isla's cage. She's due a clean out today, actually, or sort of a semi-clean out, because we're going away next week. So it's an IKEA cabinet. It's the glass display cabinet laying on its back, and without the shelves or and without the glass lid. This here is hand fashioned. We made these. So yeah, and there's the hole that the light goes through is the hole for a water bottle, which is quite clever. So yeah, so these just lift off, and they lift off in 2 parts just because it's easier. So this is her crocodile that has been majoritively destroyed. She really likes these. They're dog chews. You know, she's got a cone in there from some old wool. Because it's Christmas, we've got her a Father Christmas to put her food in, and she quite likes sitting in that and digging around in that. Under that big pile of sawdust is her bed, her strawberry bed, and then she's got her wheel sort of down at the bottom. Yeah, she really likes this cage. It's nice and big. She's got plenty of room to roam about in, and it looks quite nice as well. I think it's not a sort of an eyesore of a cage. Underneath, these fit back in like that. Underneath, because it's not used to being lined on its back, we've got these foam kiddie blocks, like blocking mats, just to sort of support it across the middle. And we've got, it's on 2 of the IKEA lac coffee tables, which underneath it house my boxes for woolen stuff that I'm working on right now. So yeah, I did think about putting some Christmas wrapping paper behind, but I never sort of quite got round to it. So yes, my very messy living room. It's a bit tidier than it was this morning, but it's still a bit... That's going to really annoy people if I keep changing the angle, isn't it? So yeah, so in the window we just have some 2 reindeer, I suppose they are. You want to call them moose, but they're not moose. 2 reindeer, and we've got some flashy Christmas lights in the window just to sort of liven the place up a bit. So yeah, so we don't normally do a huge amount for Christmas. As I say, we're normally away. This year we're definitely away. We're at my mum's from the 18th. So because their internet is awful, I'm going to be a bit sort of sporadic with posting. I am back on the 2nd, and the 3rd is the Sunday, so I may podcast then. I'm not sure. We are going to Reese's mum's in the afternoon, so I might be a bit busy. If not, it will be the weekend after that I will come and say hello to you, or I will try my hardest to get some something done, something recorded in the evening. Try and get, you know, sort of a better set of lights up. So I hope you all, if you're celebrating, have a wonderful Christmas, and I will speak to you guys when I get back. Ta-ra!